Good morning, everybody. So I've come here to an ancient piece of woodland in the south of England called the New Forest, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be recording the sound of this forest at crack of dawn, and it is indeed crack of dawn. It's just after 6 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to use that as the basis for a piece of music, not using the sounds within it, but writing a piece of music which sort of perfectly blends with that soundscape rather than fighting with it. So as a wildlife composer, it's something I've had to do quite a lot. You have to, respect and embrace the sound of the natural world when you're writing a score. So it's going to be an interesting experience trying to get the music not to overwhelm, but to somehow enhance what's going on in the natural world. And to that end, I have a Zoom H6 recorder with a fluffy thing on the top, and we're going to find a suitable place and set it up and let it work its magic. We're right in the middle of the forest. The sun is just starting to break through over the hill, and I've just come to this little stream, and the sound of the water in the background might be really nice, so I don't want it to be too overwhelming, so I don't want to get too close to it, but I think somewhere up here. So the Zoom H6 has a, is that XY? I think that's an XY microphone on the top, and a little mini dead cat. It's a brilliant piece of kit and not particularly expensive. It's a simple setup and it works really well. Probably would have helped if I put some batteries in. But yeah, Zoom H6 works so much better when it's got some batteries in. It's beginning of April, it's perishing cold actually. And whilst, the forest is not at its most noisy yet, give it another month and it'll be absolute racket in a nice way. So I'm just going to leave this recorder doing its thing for, I don't know, an hour or something. I quite like also the idea that in the middle of winter, when it's all a bit sad and depressing, I'll be able to listen to this and it'll remind me of what it's like to be in the early spring. That's better, right? There's no shortage of woodpeckers here. Actually here, this is one of the few spots in Britain where you can reliably see all three types: the green, the great spotted, and the lesser spotted, which is in chronic decline. I've just heard a green, and I think that's a greater spotted drumming over there. It'd be very nice if we got the lesser spotted as well, but sorry, this is so geeky. So okay, so this is the first week of April. Were we to return here in a month's time, you get a couple more sort of star characters like potentially wood warbler and redstart and things like that, but this is good enough for me. This is absolutely lovely. What's not to like? I'm going to go and see if that is a friend, what type of woodpecker that is. Shh, can you hear this? Listen, listen, listen. That, I'm pretty sure that's the lesser spotted woodpecker. Yeah, that's almost certainly it. Let's go and see if we can find it. Listen to this. Remember I said we were looking for the lesser spotted woodpecker? That's what we found. Much excitement. It's absolutely tiny. It's about the size of a sparrow. It's just sitting on this old dead bit of a tree, drumming away. Worth getting up in the morning for. I'm dead chuffed. This must be the first lesser spot I've seen for like 5-6 years at least. Oh yeah.
Well, outside of this, really, it's impossible.
I know.
They're so small and so discreet.
I know. Because you could, if it wasn't for the fact that he's making a racket,
you'd miss it.
You would. But also, if you listen hard, you can hear the difference between that and the grey. But you need to get your ear in.
You do, yes. Absolutely. Yeah, last time I was here, a great spot came in and landed the same spot as the lesser, as it flew off, you could really see the size difference.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah, because that is a tiny woodpecker.
Yeah.
Big sound.
Yeah.
One of the things for which the New Forest is famous are these. The New Forest ponies. They just wander about, you know, living their best life. No, just munching away. That is a picture of no stress, isn't it? Go then. It's about an hour or so after I left my recorder here, so let's go and pick it up and see what we got. Well, it's been an absolutely fantastic morning. Absolutely beautiful, just surrounded by nature, all these incredible sounds, and we managed to see one of the hardest birds in Britain to see, the famous lesser spotted woodpecker. Tick! Big tick. Anyway, let's take our recordings and all this stuff back to the shed and see what we can make of it. And so, we are back in the shed. Back from our adventures. We have a bit of the footage cut together. The great Hugh has done his editing magic. Let's just have a look through. It's about just under a couple of minutes long. So I've got it here, all loaded up. And it looks and sounds, let me put my headphones on, like this. So we start with shots of that little stream. Some macro stuff comes up next. You hear the richness of that Atmos track though, so we don't want to kill that when we start writing some music. Then there's a series of GVs with some motion put into them. Yeah, so this scene feels like a little section. And at the top of the tree. Now we're into lesser spotted woodpeckers, or pecker. There it is doing its thing, hopping about, living its proverbial best life. There we go. Now there's a very nice little sequence of, again, these kind of wild wood shots. Then into the horses. So there's structure to this sequence, but I don't know how much of, you know, the actual sections we're going to make sound different. Then what happens at the end here? Okay, there's a big sort of panning shot, another GV, and then into the aerials. 1, 2, and finally 3. Right, that's the sequence. What I'm going to be doing today, firstly, we're going to try and improvise some music which doesn't get in the way of the richness of the natural sound. But secondly, we're not going to be using a click track. What we're going to be doing is free timing, which is a really kind of interesting way of writing to picture, where you literally improvise to the picture. There's no click, but what I have done, you may notice, is I've dropped in little markers so that I can see where the shot changes are. The reason this is important is not that you want to hit every shot change, because you really don't. But equally, what you don't want to do is be just off. So you don't want to go ba-bum. Let me just show you quickly, right at the beginning here. I've got a piano loaded up. So if we were going, it's fine. But if I go, I know it wasn't quite off enough. You see, if you're just missing the cut, it feels really awkward. And it's much better either to be well away from it or to be bang on it. And also, as we go through, there are some sort of changes which are more significant when we get into maybe the woodpecker bit, but definitely when we get into the aerials at the end. So let's now just improvise something and see how this feels. Oh, that was off. Yeah, okay. So what went on there? I did miss some of those cuts, and also just missed some of those cuts. So if you'd recorded that, you could either go through and edit it, or go and do it again, which is probably what I do. I mean, it takes a few goes, and if you play through it several times, every time it sort of gets better. But just thinking about the sort of tonality of what we're doing when we're playing with that, it's kind of quite open fifths. It's quite major in a... It felt, you know, okay, let's just, I tell you what, we're just going to change the instrument and try something completely different. So we're going to go for something which is much more classically modal this time. There we go. What should we use this time? Let's go for the harp. This is one of my favourites. That was Woodchester piano, by the way, from Fracture Sounds, I think, yes. James Everingham, well done, James, nice instrument. And now you may notice we're using quite a lot of reverb on this, which is quite nice because it allows you to play something very simple. I've got a choice of reverbs here, and I may try the other one for this one and see how it goes. I've been using cinematic rooms for that first one, which is a more natural sound. What I'm going to use now is this one called Black Hole, which is a much more effect sound. But I quite like the way it rings out, and it might, as we play, sort of give that sense of space without being too dense. What we definitely don't want to do with this is to, you know, put big string chords over it just like some kind of wet blanket. We need to keep it clean and transparent so that the sound can come through. Let's say I'm going to stick more to a sort of classically modal D minor, D Dorian type of scale here and see what happens. Now to me, that more sort of, it sounds a bit mournful, actually. And actually I quite like the more, I don't know, positive sound I was getting out of the last version. Let's try something different again. I'm going to go for, okay, let me find a sound which I like. I mean, I like all these sounds, I have to say. What was the one I was playing with the other day? Ah, I know what. Let's go to Dan Keen's Soft Strings. What should we go for a viola? Let's see what this does. What I want to do is do something which is less obviously tonal, but not dissonant and atonal. So this is going to be sort of a bit clustery, but okay, let's see what happens. Tell you what, Guy, why don't you not start on D? You've done that a lot. Start higher, start higher. Also, why are you recording this? We're just going to play. I'm not absolutely loving what's going on here. I don't know why. No, it's not got any shape. It's not got any shape. Let's try something different again. Just a single line of, a single melodic line. So let's move away from all these sort of suspensions and things like that and try something different again. So we'll go for, what have we got guitar-wise? Where's the steel string? That would do. There it is. Evolution steel strings, my go-to. Okay. I quite like this. I like the reverb actually. This effect reverb is nice. I have a bit more of it even. Okay. This is where I try and improvise a tune and see what happens. You idiot guy, you idiot! Why do you set yourself up for a fall over and over again? Okay. Ah, this is back to bad tune writing again. Were you with me last week? Ah, sunglasses of doubt, just to make a. Actually, trying to write music with scratch sunglasses on while watching the picture is a really bad idea. So that's why I'm going to do it. Okay, that's all right. That worked all right. Off come the sunglasses of doubt. Let's try, what else can we do? Okay, I'm not recording this, I'm just going to try playing along with this. Oh, we're back in the world of Lord of the Rings. And instantly, it feels like the New Forest has turned into whatever they call it, the Dell, or I don't know. Ah, the precious, all that kind of nonsense. Okay, right. No, that was a really, really bad idea. Oh, go on. Let's have one last crack at this. What are we going to do next? Okay, yeah, I said don't do the big string thing. Let's try what happens when you do the big string thing, which is, and I think. The reason I've been avoiding doing the big string thing is because it's a sort of default setting and it's a bit kind of, and also consort or, am I just going to go for, okay. Flout? No, just stick with consort. No, just go the, actually. Go chamber, guy. Go chamber. Okay, guy. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. Flout chamber. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Turn me down a bit, that's better. Right, here we go. That's too quiet. I can't even hear what I'm doing, let alone. Also, instantly, it's just wadging out the natural sound. It's not allowing that space, which was, I suppose, the point of this demonstration, isn't it? So, go for it, guy. Nah, this is so wrong. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm sorry. I'm going to have one last go. Okay, tell you what we are going to do. We're going to go on to... What happens if I go for a synth instead? Will this sound absolutely ridiculous? That will... That would sound absolutely ridiculous. There's all these kind of... Okay, what have we got? Sequences, textures, maybe. Sounds a bit. Okay. Okay, this version is somewhere in the forest, a body is buried. Actually, do you know, I know it works, and it completely changes what you're looking at, and that's the wonder of music, but let's go for, this is a new instrument within the Native Instruments universe called Ashlight, and it's, this'll do the business. Okay, the body is buried there somewhere. It's a bit loud actually, isn't it? Where's the body? Where's the body? We need to start digging. Identify the body. I wonder if that lesser spotted woodpecker knows where it is. Hopping about up there, it's a perfect vantage point. Maybe it's actually a remote control bird with a camera in it, run by the CIA. That's not a horse. That's 2 members of the Secret Service in a costume. Look at me suspiciously. Somewhere down there is the body. Okay, that'll do, that'll do. I think we bashed this one to death, haven't we? Anyway, that was quite fun, and I hope we've kind of given you something to think about in terms of writing to picture and the power of music to change what you see in the picture and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's been good fun. I'll be back with another one, something quite different next time, I think. Meanwhile, I'll leave you with this little message from our sponsor, which is us, Think Space Education, because we do lots of courses in how to write music. So if you want to know how to turn a perfectly nice piece of film of the New Forest into something scary, check us out. See you again soon. Bye-bye. How to Write Music is my online course that takes you through every step of the process. How to get going, chord progressions, tune writing, developing and arranging your music, 6 hours of exclusive video tutorials, a course text packed with tips, and a supportive online community. Get more out of your music and sign up today.